You need to be more like a dog. We don't need a bunch of cats in here looking in the mirror. Do I look good? I got my extra bands on. I got my other shoes on. We need more dogs.
Let's move on to those Pittsburgh Steelers, the Yinzers.
Yeah, 9-8.
I mean, history says you're spot on, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny we joke about that, but you look at the past 5 years. I mean, they're 50-33. I mean,
10-7, 10-7, 9-8, 9-7-1, 12-4.
They did it. They got the bad man,
Aaron Rodgers.
Has there ever been a less Pittsburgh guy play quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers than Aaron Rodgers?
I don't think so. I really don't. I can't.
Even some of their stopgaps like Russell Wilson or Justin Fields that they had last year. Or,
you know who's a big Yinzer?
Duck Hodges. Duck Hodges was a Pittsburgh guy through and through, though. He needs a spot on this team.
You know who was a Yinzer?
Terry Bradshaw.
Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. I mean, he's Sean Payton.
Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, it all comes full circle here. So, Aaron Rodgers comes in. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers kind of doesn't get the credit he deserves for the season he had last year. I thought he played fine. That Jets organization is just an absolute fucking disaster. So, coming into a situation like this, I mean, Mike Tomlin has a way with players that you don't really see in professional sports. I don't know what it is about Mike Tomlin, but we haven't seen the inverse of this, right? Like, we haven't seen a player as polarizing. And Aaron Rodgers off the field stuff, I mean, it's mainly just wild ideas and stuff, I guess. I mean, it's not like he's out there really getting in trouble or anything, but
yeah,
we haven't really seen the inverse
it's
of
it's more shit stirring than anything.
Yeah, and it also seems very internal a lot of times. Like, you just hear rumblings of the guy's kind of an asshole and stuff like that. But we've never really seen the inverse with Mike Tomlin, right? We've never really seen a guy come in outside of college, obviously, but an established veteran in the NFL come in and work with him. But I mean, the track record of guys that leave Pittsburgh and absolutely just fall apart, and you're like, how the hell did they keep this guy? Well, we'll see. I mean, we have a pretty good case study with George Pickens next year in Dallas. So
I am struggling so much with this roster because I love it. I love a lot of what they've done. I just have the quarterback question, and I say I have the quarterback question, and then I look and go, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers quietly had 3,900 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions last year. Pittsburgh was praying for that the last few years, praying for someone who could do that.
That's exactly what they've needed the past couple of years. But then you also look at Aaron Rodgers, and you kind of look at him historically and the type of receivers that he likes, and you have an aging Bobby Trees. You have a DK Metcalf who, don't get me wrong, I mean, I don't want Steelers to take this the wrong way. I think DK Metcalf's incredible. He doesn't really fit that Aaron Rodgers prototype wide receiver.
No, I mean, DK survives on a handful of routes that he's really, really unstoppable at.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, Aaron Rodgers can still throw a go ball, and that's but DK, he's not. I've always struggled with DK, and I really struggle with whether he was a blue chip here because
I don't
the
think
guy
so.
puts up 1,000 yards every single year.
Yeah.
But when you need a big catch and a big moment, I'm not sure that he's that guy. He doesn't just uncover automatically.
A lot of what Aaron Rodgers has been great at throughout his career, I mean, he's obviously has the arm talent and everything, but it's whenever he's able to scramble a little bit and find guys just playing that backyard bullshit. Play breaks down and he finds a Jordy Nelson or he finds a Randall Cobb.
Since Matt LaFleur got to Green Bay, though, that hasn't really been his game. He's just in structure, just a killer. Like since LaFleur got there, because I think LaFleur convinced him, like, look, you're not the athlete you were. You can't play like this anymore. We need you to play this way.
Yeah. So looking at this wide receiver room outside of DK Metcalf, who has the best opportunity to really make a step here? Is it a Calvin Austin? Is it a Roman Wilson? I mean, they get rid of his brother, so I mean he's probably upset, but he's got his other brother at tight end at least there. So
At linebacker.
Linebacker, excuse me.
Yeah. The Wilson triplets, one of them goes, you don't know how the rest are going to react.
Yeah.
But,
that triplet bond is.
I think it's Roman Wilson who really has a big shot here. Like,
I agree.
I like Calvin Austin. I'm just not sure that he's like. What I really liked about Roman Wilson coming out of Michigan was his route detail, and to me, that is what Aaron Rodgers looks for, right? That Aaron Rodgers wants a guy who can uncover with his route running skills. Calvin Austin's electric with the ball in his hands. I'm not sure that he's the guy who's going to consistently uncover in a variety of different routes and alignments. And I think that's something Roman Wilson can theoretically do for you. It's theoretical still because very limited opportunities last year for Roman.
Yeah. If I'm buying stock in anybody right here, I'm buying stock in Roman Wilson, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I think they're going to be a fairly run-heavy offense. Probably more run-heavy than Rodgers has seen the last few years at least.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think Kaleb Johnson, I'd probably be buying Kaleb Johnson stock.
I'm 100% buying Kaleb Johnson stock. I've never really been on the Jalen Warren train. I know he puts up numbers. I know he produces.
Oh, I love Jalen Warren.
You love Jalen Warren?
He's so fun, but like he's never going to get a starter's workload. He's not a starting running back, but his tape is so fun.
Yeah. No, but I look at this offense and I really see opportunity for Kaleb Johnson to really excel here. And with Aaron Rodgers there, I think he could really just blow this whole thing open and be very, very good for him.
To me, a lot of it really depends on how the synergies, big word, synergies work between Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers. Two very polarizing personalities who have a history of not getting along with the people they work with.
Yeah.
Because if they can find that good working relationship, I do think this offense that's going to be more run heavy, use a lot more play action, outside zone base. Kaleb Johnson is going to excel in an outside zone scheme. Like, there is reason to see, like, the arm's still there for Rodgers.
Yeah.
The brain's still there. Like, but it's
the brain still there?
I don't know. There's a lot of drugs in there at this point. But I do think there is a way this works. But I'm not sure how much I buy Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith seeing eye to eye on things and how it all works. You
say Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith. I think the equalizer in that is Mike Tomlin.
It might be. It might just be.
But like, okay.
Because there's a history there of Mike Tomlin making that stuff work. Like,
yeah, absolutely. So looking at skill positions, I think there's definitely some opportunities there. But when we go to the O-line, you have Derrick Jones.
Derrick.
Derrick.
As he
Tub
was
Jones?
affectionately nicknamed. Tub Jones.
Is this Faltanu's second year?
Yes.
Okay. What did we think about Faltanu last year?
He missed a bunch of time. He really didn't get to play that much. Let's see what his actual snap count was. 55 snaps.
Yeah.
He was fine in his 55 snaps generally, according to his PFF grades. The tape I saw, he looked okay, but like he was always a bit more of a project. Really gifted athlete, really smooth, sweet feet, but like he didn't really. I didn't love his Washington tape because I questioned some of the intellect, I guess, or not intellect, processing. He wasn't asked to do a ton in that offense. I felt like he was moved to left tackle because that was Michael Penix's like opposite, like, you know, a right-handed quarterback is going to have left tackle blind side. He was put at left tackle. while Roger Rosengard moved from left to right for Penix to protect Penix's blind side. And I mean, I don't know. There's a ton of potential in there for Fautanu. Athletically, size-wise, strength-wise, it's just a matter of him putting it together. It's not dissimilar to Broderick Jones coming out. Like I think they're somewhat similar archetypes where it's like there's a ton of potential here, but you got to develop it. So if they're developing it well, looks promising for this entire O-line, really.
Yeah.
So if you get Broderick Jones and Troy Fautanu playing right, I feel pretty good about Mason McCormick. I didn't love him coming out of the draft, but I've grown to appreciate him a lot more, I think.
Yeah.
My issues with him were more about he plays like a madman, but he wasn't a good run blocker. And those things didn't add up to me. So again, that too comes down to the development. He needs to learn to latch. He needs to learn to take a breath and make sure you're actually blocking the guy you're supposed to be blocking. But he's a nutcase out there. Zach Frazier, one of the few blue chip centers in the NFL. This guy's coming for the top center in the league. He's going to be competing with Creed Humphrey in a year for top center in the NFL. He's awesome. I love Zach Frazier. And Isaac Samala is just a good guard. So, like, I do think and at depth, I mean, I like Spencer Anderson as an interior depth. Outside of that, I have questions about their tackle depth. But so the depth questions do actually loom pretty big here with McCormick playing a style that might run into injuries. Fautanu already dealing with some injuries. Broderick Jones dealing with some availability so far in his career. I do have questions specifically at that tackle depth. But generally, this plan on the offensive line looks fine. I like the way they've drafted. So, like, I do think there is a chance this is a solid O-line, but they need that development to come through.
The way they play Steeler football, I mean, I think they'll get the development there. I mean, 3 out of the 4 teams in this division usually find ways to develop players in their own ways. Bengals, I feel like, luck into guys all the time. Steelers and Ravens, you just always feel like it's going to work out.
They got the athletes here to run the outside zone blocking schemes really nicely, as long as like they're well coached. And Arthur Smith has a history of coaching this up pretty well. So like I tend to think at the very least they'll run block well.
With Jalen Warren and Kaleb Johnson, you can definitely have some success on the ground for sure.
That was Kaleb Johnson's selling point. Like, there were questions all over his tape about his breakaway speed, about his pad level, about why doesn't he break more tackles for his size. But his selling point, the thing that you could not deny, was this guy can read outside zone like nobody's business. Yeah, and he's going to be a very consistent runner for them, I think.
Yeah, I agree. So going over to the defense here,
a lot of blue.
All right, let's start at the defensive line. Just incredible defensive line here. Heyward, Watt, Highsmith, all just as solid as you get. And then you go and draft Derrick Harmon, who
beast.
Where do you? Yeah, so I was going to say that I like Derrick Harmon a lot coming out. So, do you think he's going to be a day one starter on this D line?
I think he should. I mean, obviously, it depends what their alignments look like, how often they want to run 3 defensive tackles out there. But, like, in a rotation at the least, I don't see why Derrick Harmon wouldn't be playing in a rotation, heavy rotation here. He was my favorite player. He was my favorite player in this year's draft class.
So, well, there you go. Steelers.
And he had, I think it was Lance Zierlein's profile, they had like the NFL scout quotes at the bottom. And it said, "This guy screams Pittsburgh Steelers."
That's where
he does. So Derrick Harmon was a 360-pound nose tackle at Michigan State. He's from Detroit, so like he stayed in Michigan because his mom was bedridden with I forget what disease it was or illness, but he needed to stay close to home to help out with her and to be around her and be there for her. His mom actually passed away the day after he was drafted.
Right after he was drafted, yeah.
So I mean, there's some like that could impact some of his rookie year. I don't see how it wouldn't from a human perspective. But that being said, his final year of eligibility, he transfers to Oregon because it's like this is his last shot to really make some noise, drops like 60 pounds in the offseason. It's almost funny watching his Oregon tape, especially early in the year. It's almost like you were a 360, 370 pound guy. Now you're 310 pounds. And you can visibly see him be like, whoa, I'm fast. Whoa, I can move. I can swim people. It's almost hilarious. And the dude was just dominating, super long arms, kept a lot of that nose tackle power that I think he's going to be a real problem in this Pittsburgh Steelers defense for years to come, especially you pair him next to Keeanu Benton, who is one of my favorite defensive tackles in the NFL. Frankly, I wanted to make him a blue chip. I couldn't actually do it, but I love me some Keeanu Benton. I love the power profile and the twitchiness he plays with. Cam Heyward, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith. Once again, I think this is the third year in a row I'm saying this. Get Nate Herbig and Jack Sawyer behind them. This is the deepest D line in the NFL, and I don't think it's close.
Yeah, Jack Sawyer. Yeah, you mentioned him. I think he has potential to really be a good rotation guy for him here. Yeah, a lot to like about this D line room. Obviously, I mean, they still have great linebacker play. I feel like they always have good linebacker play. Peyton Wilson played well for him last year. Patrick Queen's still playing at a pretty high level.
Yeah, I'm not sure on Queen. I feel like there's been some rumblings about him not being as good as advertised. You got to remember these numbers are 2 years worth of numbers, so that it's half his final year with the Ravens, half his first year with the Steelers. His PFF grade was down. I don't really trust PFF grades that much with linebackers, though. Like, he graded out at 56.8, but I don't know. There were years where Roquan Smith was grading in the 50s on PFF grade, and I was watching every play of his with my eyes and be like, that's a good linebacker. So, I don't know too much. I do know there were some rumblings about Patrick Queen not living up to expectations. I think he's somewhat limited as a player. But with Peyton Wilson going into year 2, I don't think Patrick Queen has to be your big dog linebacker. I think you're hoping Peyton Wilson becomes that guy in year 2.
And then looking at the DB room here, Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr., Beanie Bishop, Deshaun Elliott.
Looking at this corner room, I mean, I like the Slay edition. He's old.
But but he can still play.
You're bringing championship level experience to your team, who's been a lot of playoff wins and a lot of production in this league, who hasn't apparently fallen off yet. And I trust Mike. This is what Mike Tomlin does. Like, defense is his thing. Defensive backs specifically are his thing. I mean, you could tell me that they just signed Richard Sherman. I'd be like, Mike Tomlin will figure it out. Yeah,
it'll be fine. Joey Porter, what is this, year 2 or year 3 for Joey Porter Jr.?
Year 3. He fell back down to earth a little last year, which I think was somewhat expected. In his rookie year, he was so grabby and so handsy. That, you thought that would kind of come back to bite him some as officials reviewed the previous year's calls and tape and cracked out on certain things. I mean, I think Porter is a little limited from a vertical perspective. He doesn't have that true speed to really keep vertically, but he relies on that physicality, and he is as physical as it gets as an outside corner. So his ability to jam guys and keep them from getting that vertical step on him is huge. He needs to do it cleanly, though.
You know what helps you cover against the vertical game is a defensive line like this.
Yeah, it's a big help. You can take a lot of risks, and you can, I mean, I think Porter will be fine. I'm not sure if he's a true number 1 corner in this league, but he's a strong number 2 if he's not a good number 2.
Yeah, I think they're going to play well, like you said. I mean, Tomlin always has these guys ready to go.
Yeah. I mean, I love this defense. I think they're going to be a problem. I think they're always a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it just comes down to what can Aaron Rodgers give you? I think they'll be able to run the football. I think Robert Wood, Bobby Trees, and DK can both block. So you got 2 good blocking guys there. Pat Freiermuth can block. Darnell Washington is a hell of a blocker. They're going to be able to move the football on the ground some, and this defense is going to keep points off the board. It's on you, Aaron Rodgers. He just said today this is probably his last year. Is he pulling a Brett Favre?
Who would have ever thought that Aaron Rodgers would announce this season before that he was retiring and make it all about him? Who could have saw that coming?
him and Arthur Smith that's what I'm watching for this team, because it can
Yeah.
this could be like this team's talent to me outside of quarterback is a 10 plus win team. But Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith combined has the potential to me to tank that down to 7 wins.
Yeah, it's crazy. We talk about it too. It's like, oh, if they can get the quarterback play right. And I know Aaron Rodgers is 43, but I mean, he was an MVP 4 years ago.
Yeah, 3 or no 4. Yeah,
3 years ago. Yeah. So I mean, it's crazy that's the potential weak spot in this team, and it's fucking Aaron Rodgers. Like, are we really going to sit here and doubt him, and just so he can just be a dickhead and go win 15 games?
And that's the thing.
Win a Super Bowl?
Last year, more people doubted him than not, but I'd say it was like, what, 60-40?
Yeah, probably.
This year,
coming
it's
off
like
an Achilles.
90-10. Everyone is doubting him.
Everybody's acting like he can't play, and I'm like, he was fine last year. And
yeah,
you put him in a decent organization, especially with a good defense. I mean,
and with the first coaching staff in like 5 years who will say no to him.
Yeah, yeah, it's like I
could go bad.
Yeah, I mean, we look at this win total here, 8.5 at plus 110. I might hammer this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take over 8.5. I'll take playoffs at plus 146.
146.
This team made the playoffs with freaking Russell Wilson last year. They made the playoffs with Kenny Pickett the year before. They made the playoffs with the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger 4 years ago. Like, yeah. I mean, plus money on the playoffs for the Steelers. You take it. You just take it.
5-1 at the division. I might take that too. I mean, like you said, there's so much talent, and it's the NFL. Anything can happen. I mean, they get hot early, or if they get hot late, they can string together 6 or 7 wins in a row at any given time in the season, and then parlay that into a 13-win season and go and win the division. So
this team started 10-3 last year.
Yeah, it's fine. And then they lost to a bad Cowboys team.
Yeah, early.
Like, it's crazy. So, yeah, I'm taking division at 5-1 here. Yeah, just because, like I said, I mean, it's so much talent all over the field. It's Mike Tomlin, it's Aaron Rodgers, that defense. Because I mean, you get into a slugfest with this team. Aaron Rodgers is still probably a top 3 quarterback I'm taking if it's fourth quarter and you're down by 2 and need a field goal to win, or if it's fourth quarter down by 4 and need a touchdown to win. I'll still take Aaron Rodgers just about over anybody in the league right now until he proves me wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question, because my first thought is, how much does he like his coach?
Yeah,
if he's feeling pouty, I'm not taking him. If he's feeling fired up, I'm taking him. You know, like
my son always says Mr. Pouty Pants anytime you yell at him for anything, like when he's trying to like physically harm himself jumping off the kitchen table, and I'm like, get down. Okay, Mr. Pouty Pants. Like, that's Aaron Rodgers.
That's what Mike Tomlin's gonna say to him every time.
Mr. Pouty Pants.